Good morning. My name is Stephen Moore, and I served on board the USS Ogden as an operations specialist, second class petty officer, and I served with Chad for 2.5 years. The memories just kept flooding in this week, and I thought to myself, which ones that am I going to share? And they're all just amazing memories. I had the opportunity to see Chad both on a professional level as well as a personal level. Chad professionally was a squared away sailor. He had this ability to just continue and strive to be the best at what he did. He continued regardless if the situation was bad or the circumstances were just ugly. As you know, life throws you curveballs, and the ship wasn't always a happy place. And regardless of he was in a bad time or if he was sad, Chad would continue to do what he needed to do, and he was really good at it. On a personal side, Chad was just a jokester and a prankster. He would try to make everybody laugh. I had the opportunity to hang out with him in ports such as Singapore and Guam, as well as San Diego. One memory in particular, he and I hung out at the mall because I needed some boots. I got yelled at because my boots were pretty raggedy, and I needed to shine my boots and have them squared away. And Chad was like, "Well, don't worry about the boots. Let's just go hang out at the mall." And I'm like, "Okay, let's hang out at the mall." We got to the mall, and it was pretty funny because, yeah, we looked pretty silly being at the mall together. And I had to remind him that this wasn't going to be an everyday occurrence. We got back to the ship, and he goes to his rack, and he pulls out a pair of boots. He's like, "Here, I don't need these anymore, and these are yours." And I will always remember that. That was just the type of person that Chad was. He would always put his friends, his family, his shipmates first, ahead of himself. Chad was, wow, his prankster side. For one thing, the guy was a pen stealer. I mean, I did it too, but he would always steal everybody's pens. He liked to steal pens from me and OS2 Vallejo whenever he got the chance. He used to make John Curak really, really mad because John would go write down something and Chad would have his pen. And he would just laugh, and it was just a fun time, and it was just good to laugh with Chad. Other memories of Chad, his ability to show physical strength when he didn't look like he had that. Chad wasn't a very big guy, as you know, but he had this strength that he could physically toss me across the room, and I couldn't believe it that this was coming from such a small man. His strength was as big as his heart, and I will always remember the fact that we used to call him Old Man Strength. And then he would always remind us that he was from the great state of Texas, and that's where he got it from. All right, Chad. I grew up in Texas, and I didn't get it. But anyway, Chad impacted a lot of the sailors within our community. And I asked them to send me some of the memories that they had with Chad as we served on board Ogden. Yeah, so I will start by reading PS3 on Surface Warfare McClintock's letter. And it says, "Chad was a super nice guy. He always had a warm smile on his face, and he could really tell he was genuine by looking into the realness of his eyes. He was a natural leader and was respected throughout the command. Chad, we will miss you. I am beyond honored to have served with you, bro. See you soon." The next one is from Operations Specialist Second Class Surface Warfare Pullum. "Chad was an outstanding and outgoing, caring person. He was a straight-up dude and was all about looking out for his people. and that's what he always said. The guy had an old man's strength, is what we used to say when we wrestled in the berthing. Overall, good, kind, and caring person. You will be missed here on earth, and I can't wait to be united with you in heaven. I am truly honored to have served with you on USS Ogden. The next one is from FC1 Robert Callow. Chad was a great man, someone you could rely on to get the job done, someone you could go to learn something new. That's when he wasn't joking around and playing pranks on people. He was a mentor and strived to do the best he could. He was responsible and someone I looked up to. I wouldn't put up my warfare pin on him without his influence and help. Chad and I went to breacher school together. We both pushed each other to stay in shape by swimming, running, and lifting weights. He wasn't a very big man, but he was very strong. We went out together a couple times while we were in the Gulf, and he was an important man on the watch team, so he didn't go often. Those few times I did go, I remember letting him carry all the gear while I kept it light. He didn't mind, nor did he complain. As for standing watch in combat when I was there, I knew that time would fly, especially if it was Chief Fari, OS3 TJ Fox, and OS3 Zach Bibbins, and OS2 Stephen Moore was there. Being a CWIS tech, it wasn't very exciting being stuck in the back corner of combat, so I would crawl out in the hold to join the conversations. I used to bug him and always ask Link questions, just learned that the system that Ogden had was nothing special. As a matter of fact, it was out of date, just like the ship. Chad did his best to make it sound secretive and exciting. I knew Chad at work and out of work. He will be missed, not just by me, but by everyone. The next person is going to be Operations Specialist 2nd Class Surface Warfare Michael Tavey. Michael Tavey was a young guy when he first got on the ship, and he was mentored a lot by Chad. And he grew up to be a fine sailor. When I came on board the Ogden, I was a seaman, but he was one of the ones that taught me some valuable lessons about the Navy. He also had a knack for making you laugh and cheer you up. He was there when I went through some really rough times when it concerned my marriage and children. He listened to me and cared about my emotional state. That's one thing that I saw about him that stood out. He was a very loyal person, and he would stick up next to you in good times and in bad ones. The next one is from OS2 Surface Warfare Calvin Miller. Well, Chad was from my home state of Texas and only 45 minutes away from me. He would always talk about how Texas was the best in everything. Me, him, and DT. Chad loved his state, and he also loved his operations specialist. He was one of the ones that would always make sure we got off on time, that we deserved. Chad was the ones that taught me a lot about being an operations specialist, and that the geeks and Link Boy, didn't he know what inside and out. He was one that didn't look like a Brock Lesnar, but he had strength just like him. He stayed with a Dr. Pepper in his hand and always kept a smile on his face. Chad never frowned. Even when he was mad at us knuckleheads, he still didn't frown, which made the situation even more scarier. We had some good times and bad. Buddy, but this is hard to be doing right now. It's like this is a dream, and we're having a reunion. But one day Chad's going to have a reunion where we can chat again. Where we will be able to talk about the old doggy dog, where we can talk about the great state of Texas, where we won't have to talk about God because we both will be there with him to personally see him. When I see Jesus and Chad. Amen. The next one is from OS2 Surface Warfare Joshua Mount. Mount was actually mentored by Chad in regards to the intel side of things on board our ship. And this is what it said. Chad had a huge impact on my life on the Ogden. We spent most of our deployment together, living it up in every city we stopped in along the way. He took me under his wing. A lot of people looked up to him just like I did. He was just one of those honestly magnetic people. Few people are that genuinely deeply good in this world. No matter what you needed, Chad would always help in any way he could. He will be missed by everyone. He was even in touch with Joshua Mount. The former executive officer of the USS Ogden sent his condolences, and this is what it read. Christopher Zayats, Commander, United States Navy. My condolences to his family and shipmates. former first lieutenant on board the USS Ogden, Lieutenant Commander L. John Regelbrugge III. He's currently stationed in a float training group, Pacific Northwest. I served with your son, and I was the first lieutenant on the Ogden. I was also one of the tactical action officers on board. Your son worked with me throughout our arduous deployment. He truly was a team of professionals in CIC. He was a big part of the work, the laughter, and the teamwork we always had with one another. I remember all the great watches and laughs we had in Combat Information Center, and us building the maritime interdiction operations templates that had allowed us to complete our missions in the Gulf, and the closeness of all of us during every watch. We even had cartoons that would draw up with each other, and everyone on this forum will laugh when they remember Turtle, Turtle, Turtle. Well, everyone except Chief. And I also remember how he always was the first to volunteer on any assignment and project with a smile on his face. God bless, my friend. See you at the next port of life. First beer's on me. Lieutenant Commander L. John Regelbrugge III, United States Navy. That was just some of the memories that Chad impacted on certain people. And I guess it's my turn. Chad was a great friend, and I'm always going to miss that laugh. And I'm going to miss him listening to what I had to say about life. And it was hard because I spoke with him in June and July. I wasn't aware of what was going on with his pain in his back. But I knew in May I ended up helping out in Haiti with humanitarian aid out there, and Chad chatted with me, and he emailed me saying that if he could do anything, all I had to do was ask. And that was just the type of person that Chad was, and I'm going to miss him a lot. It was really hard for me being out here all the way in California and not being able to meet his family that he talked about so much. But it was awesome that his death really united a lot of people together, and he would have wanted that. I was talking to David Chance the other day, and we were talking about how Chad would have wanted it to be a party. And I hope that's what it is, the celebration of his death, of a man that made so many people happy, that we can go on in life. If we had to learn something from Chad, that regardless of how hard it was, that we kept pushing and striving to do the best that we could, and to see the glass half full, just like Chad would have wanted. It was an honor, and it was a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again, brother. Chatty, I'm going to miss you, buddy. And I'm looking forward to seeing those friends and family that he spoke of so much as well. And take care, and God bless.